stalking murder, à, giết sát nhân bằng vớ lụa. Cái siêu là stalking tất từ vớ.
Ah, Phelps. I was just discussing with Finbar here how well you were doing. Have a seat.
Yeah, my real name. And you can just forget all about it.
You boys have a new case. A poor Hispanic woman murdered near City Hall and left lying naked in an alleyway.
Another naked woman, sir?
Yes.
Woman nữa.
We seem to have had quite a run of them since the Dahlia fiend first struck.
Phelps is politely trying to hint that he thinks the Mendez case is hokey.
Well, young Phelps, you win some and you lose some in police work.
You're happy with the Mueller case, sir?
Over the moon, boys! The DA couldn't be more pleased with the evidence, the witness, and the lack of an alibi. Now, get out there and catch me another sinner.
Thành phố này bị gì nhỉ? Nó toàn sát nhân nhỉ? Giết người phụ nữ, xác khỏa thân. Căng vậy. Thành phố thiên thần cũng gì? Ok, chào mừng mọi người quay trở lại với tập tiếp theo của series video. Trước ta đã xử lý xong hai bản sát nhân dã man rồi.
You have the address?
It's the alley off the lease over between Los Angeles and Alameda.
You're kidding. The next one will be opposite Central Station.
Count yourself lucky, Phelps. Most guys would kill to land a case so
Ok,
close
gần
to
gần
their
văn phòng.
desks.
Yeah, it means they can pop in to hit the office supply of hooch whenever they need it.
You know, that ain't a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all, Phelps.
Any central unit, car 16 Adam reports a possible jumper at 8 and Hope, the Methodist Church unit to handle code 2 identify.
Thì hôm trước chúng ta đã xử lý xong hai bản sát nhân, giết hai người phụ nữ khác nhau. Bà thì có chồng mà lẳng lơ, bà thì chồng cũng đụng cãi nhau, chồng bạo hành một lần. Nói chung là sát nhân đều là những kẻ mô phỏng theo cái Black Dahlia phụ đen này lại một vụ nữa. Biết là có mô phỏng không? Tình tiết cụ thể xác định hiện trường để xem. Trong này nó có cho mình bắt cái của Black Dahlia.
Detectives, they're ready to start the show. I'll take you through.
Lại trần truồng nữa, lại trần truồng nữa rồi. Ôi giời,
Oh, for Christ's sake.
3 vụ liên tiếp.
Brothers, Pinker?
Cause of death is pretty apparent. We thought we'd best wait for you. When you're ready.
Đấy. Bạn này. Thằng thế nhỉ? Máu.
May as well follow the trail.
Đổ máu.
Antonia. It's a start.
Tí được. Cái tất.
If she took a blow to the head like the others, she was probably unconscious when
Rồi xong
strangled.
máu sẽ là dùng để xiết cổ. Wow.
Leave me to do my job, detective.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
lacerations on the neck would
Máu-
indicate a
máu
great
vẫn
deal
đang
of force.
Thật lúc mà ruồi còn bâu kìa. Lúc tôi xoay cái cổ máu nó còn phọt ra rồi. Nó xiết cổ. Cái vãi này. Sao anh ta đánh mạng là toàn hot rồi.
Only 21 years old. But why the library card? Did he want us to find it?
Bà này sinh năm 26 mà con bé mà nãy là 21 tuổi, năm nay là năm 47 đúng không? Tay lại nhẫn vãi.
Another wedding ring torn from the finger. No skin under the fingernails.
Anh em nhìn kìa, anh em thấy không? Ăn lòi cả xương kìa, lột cả da của bàn tay. Ây da, ghê vãi.
Kiss the blood.
Kiss
BD.
the- Lại là BD, là Black Dahlia là sao? Phòng. Rồi. Còn gì? Bảy.
The evidence in the Mueller case was solid. I'm not convinced about Mendez.
The best way to get away with murder is to pin it on
Mendez
somebody
too.
else. I'll bet a month's salary this is a copycat.
Strangled, battered.
Yeah. We know the MO. So does every jerk who kills his wife and girlfriend looking for a way out. I've spoken to Brown. He still believes the Dahlia perp has medical experience.
4 women, all murdered, all put on display, all with messages.
Mueller had no message. Look, Phelps, this is getting us nowhere.
Anything for us to go on, Mal?
Head injuries from contact with road, bruising from a small man's shoe,
Giày nắp
further
nhỏ.
blunt force trauma to the occipital region at the base of the skull.
Chầm phía sau
Could have been fatal, but clear signs of strangulation would seem to rule it out.
Lipstick appears to be a similar color to the other cases. I'll see if I can nail down a brand.
Dạ, bản thân. Khỏe vẫn còn. Cái gì đó. Em còn trong máu. Giày. Giày.
Proximity to the scene, plus the bloodstains. No way is this coincidence.
We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out.
Bật đầu đây.
House keys strung up like bait on a hook. You think he's trying to lead us somewhere?
Probably all the way to City Hall, that brazen son of a bitch.
On it goes.
Cái đen. Trắng giả đấy. Quá là còn cái gì?
That's got to be a code or a cipher.
Code cipher. Đéo kiếm mấy tin chứng cứ đấy chứ mẹ.
The early bird
Detectives?
The second mouse.
I swear, this town is going straight
Clear this
to hell.
area immediately.
Còn còn dấu máu đây mà. Đấy gợi ý tinh tế phết nè. Chính ra gợi ý tinh tế phết đấy chứ.
Where are you taking us?
Xem nào. Yes. On one door.
Mrs. A. Maldonado. Could it be Antonia Maldonado?
Antonia Maldonado.
He clearly wants us to find these things. He's left them for us.
There you go, Phelps. You got a new MO. I told you it wasn't our guy.
Or he might just be getting more confident.
Hộp trang điểm.
enameled and gold-plated. This was precious to her.
Em dắt đi đâu nhỉ?
Trail points up.
Tủ này có vẻ căng nhỉ? Nằm 47 này, cảm giác hơi hơi nhẫn rồi.
Pulled from the finger and hung up here. What's the significance?
Significance.
Looks as though the killer was decorating with this.
Ghê à.
Son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown.
Thế thật. Dẫn dắt mình đến đấy.
You can drive. Fine. Where are we headed? It was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband we should be looking for. Get him, we've closed the case.
Rusty's razor, of course. I don't want to question your tried and tested techniques, Detective Galloway. But doesn't the DA require sound casework before he'll close the book?
Not if he's got a confession. And, you know, there's ways of getting it.
I'm sure.
Tuổi. Tưởng có chắc thì có chồng nhỉ? Police housekeeper, kiểu nhà thuê đúng không? Qua làm xe này, thuê phòng của bạn làm xe, thuê giường 15. Vacancy housekeeper.
Wait just a moment. I'm sorry. Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. Detective Phelps and Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPenta, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it.
A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you.
Này cũng chưa chắc thật
We'll be
lắm.
back shortly.
Nghe nó hơi kiểu hơi
Excuse us
điêu.
a moment, ma'am. Hey, Cole, let's get moving. Will you look at that? Someone's turned the place over.
Says Antonio Isabel Maldonado was applauding. Further to my previous class.
Okay, we have an address.
Thư của luật sư. Thông báo rằng có chồng. Thường luật sư chắc là trong giai đoạn để ly hôn với chồng.
A smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
Chồng.
The charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence.
21 tuổi mà lấy chồng sớm nhỉ. Tắt rồi. Em có làm vũ khí không?
So someone broke in using this thing instead of a crowbar. Wonder where it was taken from.
Những nít nhạc rồi. Xem. Tích nút với cái xe còn lại. À. Đây không bao giờ khóa cửa xe, Cadillac. trưởng mà. Trèo được qua đây à? Bao nhiêu thời gian để cái trò này. Hết rồi. Chắc phải xuống gặp bà chủ nhà.
We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife that served me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
Má, lão này vừa chôn mà vừa ấy.
What can you tell us about Angel Maldonado?
She married him when she was 17.
Phải là 17 tuổi.
He was cruel to her, very cruel. She was a good girl, little on the religious side, but a good girl.
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I have no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
Anh này hơi cúi mặt xuống rồi.
A nosy old hag like you knows everything about the people who live under her roof. Where did she go?
I think she went to a bar. She's been drinking quite a lot lately.
This bar have a name?
El Dorado Bar. It's a Latino place on North Los Angeles Street.
That's only a couple of blocks from where we found the body.
You've had a break-in?
No, that can't be true.
You're being economical with the truth, Mrs. Lepenti. What do you have to hide?
I have no idea what you are talking about.
So Antonia lost her keys and used an iron bar to jimmy the back window?
I heard a noise in the early hours of the morning. I thought it might be a raccoon at the milk bottles.
Gấu trồn.
It'd be very bad for business if this news got out. I have a reputation to protect.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
Có một cái vòng đeo tay.
What about her bracelet?
I don't know anything about a bracelet.
In her wedding photo, she's displaying a charm bracelet.
That thing? She never wore it. He gave it to her. She always kept it in that wooden jewelry box.
Thanks, ma'am. You've been very helpful.
Pay a call to that husband of hers. Lock him up and throw away the key.
We can either front Angel, seeing as the finger's pointing right at him, or we can check out the Eldorado bar.
You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
Anh ơi, dùng anh ơi, nhanh chân lên.
A nosy old hag? Ah! And I thought I was coming on strong with the ex-wives line.
Sometimes you have to be firm to get the information you need.
God damn it, ain't that the truth?
Công nhận câu đấy gắt thật. Mấy người kiểu chủ nhà ấy thì nói những câu đấy cũng đúng.
What can I get you?
LAPD. Detectives Phelps and Galloway.
Diego Aguilar. How can I help?
You worked the bar last night?
Yeah. Me and a temp guy from the agency.
Did you have a woman in here last night? 21 years old, Hispanic, drinking heavily?
We have a lot of ladies like that in here. But yeah, I know who you mean. Antonia Maldonado. Oh, what did she do?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, shit.
Do you know her well? Was she a regular?
Hell no. She was good and tight last night, complaining about her old man. It's a story you get used to working in a bar. She was so hammered last night, she left a letter on the bar. I'll show you.
Sam has taken me to Palm Springs for the weekend.
Say, honey, what time did you get off the waiting table?
Where's that goddamn waitress?
A waitress. I have it.
Divorce papers. Did you open them?
No need to. She was shouting about it and waving the letter around. Said she was going to show him.
Tòa án Los Angeles, quận California. Tòa án để xử lý vụ ly hôn.
Can you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
She had a necklace. Some kind of religious thing, I think. You know, the temp guy would have more of an idea. She took the beer he served her and cried into it all night.
What time did she leave?
Can't say for sure.
Where did she go? Give me something or the LAPD will start getting interested in this place.
Take it easy. She wanted a cab, okay? And my phone was out of order. The closest one I knew was at the fruit market across the street, so I suggested she try there. She seemed reluctant.
Did Antonia say where she was going when she left?
She said she was going to serve the papers on the husband. Said that would take the smile off his face. If you ask me, she was scared, and the drink was for Dutch courage.
She attract any interest?
An extremely drunk young woman? What do you think? She managed to scare them off, though.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
No problem. Hey, get the guy, will you?
We'll do our best. One last question. What size shoe do you take, Mr. Aguilar?
A broad 9. I have wide feet.
He drove me up to Mulholland and we did some.
You want a tip? Refill my coffee next time, honey.
Sir, do you work here?
Sorry, pal, just making deliveries.
From where?
Just Pig Fruit Market across the street.
A fruit market delivers here?
Yeah, sure does. The Mexes love a little slice with their tequila.
Fine, thanks.
I got a call back for that universal tourist line.
A waitress. Can I have another spoon? Sam is taking me to Palm Springs for the weekend.
Isn't that the cop who caught the guy that was pretending to be dead?
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
How about we drop in on the husband instead? See if your gut is right.
I'll take a bar over a husband every day of the week.
Ấy.
Maldonado is in apartment 304.
304.
That's the cop from the newspaper.
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest. I got 100 pounds in the white.
I don't want no trouble, Steve. I got nothing to say.
Hai thằng ôn con này.
Damn. They got some decent shots in there.
Dám đánh cảnh sát à?
Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no!
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night, God damn it! You think I'd kill my own wife?
We should get the whole place going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
doesn't tell me anything.
Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place. This will take some explaining.
Maybe one of the neighbors took notice of Angel's movements. He's got no alibi. He's toast.
What do you want?
LAPD. We're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. I'm playing with my kids.
LAPD. Were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated.
Đấm
And,
rồi bây giờ.
I had the kids last night.
Wow.
I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Mà ăn đòn thì chẳng hỏi tại sao lại biển lại mặn.
Hello?
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here, and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
I kept thinking you were going to call that one a nosy old hag too, Phelps. Well-executed restraint.
I'm executing restraint right now, Finbar.
Lại Finbar. Cái này có gì không?
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
Message from Captain Donnelly, Detective. Your presence is requested urgently at Central Station. A new letter from the Dahlia killer has been found.
Thanks, ma'am.
Hương mới à? Sao còn muối à? Đâu ta? Sẽ còn chỗ ngoài này chưa tìm được. Nấu gì ta?
The El Dorado must be a family favorite.
Con ma.
No good. Nobody here.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
Đến cái ông này chạy gót chậm.
Think there's anything to the divorce angle?
I've been through 3, though. No big deal. After a while, you just numb yourself to the experience.
But Angel, he's a young Latino man. It would hurt his sense of who he is. He'd see himself as a failure, a woman taking control over his life.
Then she fronts him and he snaps. Works for me. That makes Angel a killer as well as a piece of shit.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
I didn't want to arrest him, so I gave him a duster.
Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked? You think talking's cheap? Try hiring a lawyer.
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this
The
room.
new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all the fares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and typed from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case.
I think we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
So by virtue of this curse given to me thằng đọc nếu hiểu thì đó.
That's why we called you in.
Do you think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nut job's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley. Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, a superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
The Dahlia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
Canary says he'll sing, but only if I guarantee he'll walk.
I saved a whole year for that car.
Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked? Are you liquored up?
Need a drink.
Đây
I got the jitters again.
Anh này khó gắt thế. Cứ từ từ để xếp vào được.
This guy must have
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe? She didn't stay long.
You're lying, Angel. You went after her. I think you killed her.
You're out of your mind. My brother will tell you I was at home.
Bà này khai mà.
We have a witness who confirms that you were arguing, that your wife ran out, that you followed her and didn't come back.
I know this looks bad, but it's not true. We argued, all right, but she went out and I went out after her and she jumped in a car on the corner.
There was a car waiting for her? Can you describe the driver?
Not the driver. It was too dark. But the car, it was a brown Ford coupe.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
I don't believe you, Angel. She'd been granted a decree nisi. She pushed you too far and you lashed out.
I told you, I wouldn't accept a divorce.
Giấy triệu tập nữa.
The judge had set a date. You were going to be paraded in front of the whole city for your cruelty to her, Angel.
Antonia. Oh, Jesus. She came in drunk, out of her mind. She doesn't normally drink. She was looking around in her bag. Said she wanted to serve me papers. Me, her own husband. So I slapped her down. She ran out. That's the truth.
What size shoe do you wear, Angel?
Size 8. What difference does that make?
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
What about the charm bracelet? Was she wearing that?
You know about that? She never wore it. She didn't like the message. She kept it locked up in that box of hers.
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
Dấu vết gì là cắt để ấy đâu. Mà vết máu nó loang xuống cả trên cổ và cả trên ống tay áo làm sao.
Angel? I'm not going to waste any more time on this. Give me something, or I'm going to have you charged.
My brother, Ippolito, he said some bad things about Antonia last night. So I had to sock him one. We got into it.
Keep talking.
She said she came from the El Dorado bar.
And?
It's not one of my places. We used to buy fruit at the market down the street. But the creep there was always running his eyes all over my wife.
What's the name of this fruit market?
Just picked fruit. Ord Street downtown.
One last question, Angel. Do the words kiss the blood mean anything to you?
No. Sounds sick to me.
You're not in the clear by any means, Angel. You're going back into a cell. You should think about whether you have anything else you need to share with us.
Skeleton goes into a bar and orders a beer and a mop.
Scaneri says he'll sing, but only if I guarantee he'll walk.
Tưởng không có thẩm vấn là chồng à? Anh chồng à? Số 1 đó.
Now you want it rested, so I gave him a dusting.
Vẫn ăn xong hết rồi.
I don't have time for this, detective.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45.
You know the way. You can drive.
With one round.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
These letters? Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
Now we sent another.
I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. You seen the body? Fucking cased his nozzle way at your guts. Hollow. Every prom queen, every fucking hick town in America turns up here. Where do they end up? Guts on the fucking sidewalk.
Cửa hàng rau củ mình ăn cũng vậy. Giống cửa hàng gần chỗ quán bar em ra đâu.
The handbag was left just up there, overlooking the market.
Could have come here from the start and saved ourselves a day's legwork.
Anh kia mất cái mũ xong không đội lại. Chào anh.
Just don't know how to dance to bebop.
Sir, Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
You already knew Mrs. Maldonado, didn't you, Clem?
Sure, I met her before. She seemed like a nice lady. Her husband went apeshit one day when he caught me talking to her. She had me back until last night.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think. She seemed to know the guy.
Cái xe Formula No.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Hey, don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh.
Bọn tao là có quyền. Để... Chính xác hết. Ủa?
I got a callback for that Universal chorus line.
Trời ơi. Thiên đường rượu
No
lầu.
wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
Bảo sao? Cái này. Dao.
Why cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. Must have seen it during the war.
Just don't know how to dance to bebop.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
Cái tờ kia đúng không? 2, 5, 3. Xoay. Ok. Đấy, cái phòng thiên chúa này rồi.
This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off.
Clem!
Lại chạy nữa. Bắt con mẹ nó lại.
God damn it, get after him, Cole. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
Chạy đi đâu? Sao mà chạy được nhỉ?
We should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy. Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do. Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect. Hit it! Clean this asshole off the road.
Chúng cái lốp coi. Gà thế.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Outstanding job on this case, gentlemen.
Thế
The
à?
poor woman can now rest in peace. I'll pay the fiend a personal visit myself and remind him that crime in this city does not go unpunished. When they finish with him at the receiving hospital, we'll have him up before the grand jury. I have a meeting this afternoon with the mayor lads. I'll be sure to mention your names. Now, on your way.
Này đơn giản nhỉ. Ôi, anh ấy tranh thủ thó ngay một thùng về cơ hội. Đơn giản quá nhỉ. Có được sự có sự quân Bắc Dalia.
Sarge, why are the guys giving it to the doggies? They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do it then. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads. How can we fail, Skip, with the Shadow leading the show? What the fuck is the Shadow? Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming. You're sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Áo nhau nó đấm vào mặt bây giờ. Chắc tranh cãi về đợt ông câu phèo đối xử tử tế với bọn Nhật. The white shoe, giày trắng. Chị này đi sớm lắm. Sai, chị sai rồi.
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
If you were twice as smart, you'd still be.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
Fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Yeah, Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send.
Làm sao mà thay đồ được nhỉ? Em gọi là cũng một khóa một cái outfit của ta. Thay đồ ở đâu? Để...
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear of germs?
I think we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Greetings from sunny California. When's it gonna stop?
Anh ơi.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows make it the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death.
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
Circumstantial.
Xác coi.
It appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
Là cái nút bện nút giống cái vụ thứ hai đúng không?
Never the same, are they?
Đây có gì không? Xác này được đối xử khá nhẹ nhàng, không liên quan lắm.
No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene.
Có nhiều thứ lắm vì trời mưa, xe.
Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Can't be much help to you, Phelps.
Liên quan đến bà này.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Osaku.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks.
Kiểm tra tiếp. Chạy cứ xem một chân xịn. Đó. Rồi lại đi anh em.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
And where exactly are we going? No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?
Lão này cố chấp vãi. Quyết phải bóc mẽ với lại là hạ thấp thì còn được. Con này trước còn là sống. Mong là có tình tiết gì đấy nó hấp dẫn hơn. Nó độc lạ quá này.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Nhiều đúng. F1363.
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake. Advice?
Have a lead. Let's find out what the husband has to say for himself.
Đến luôn nhà luôn.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed? I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff.
Oh. Chắc thì người Ba Lan này bắt đầu hai đứa con.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
It's procedure. You see to your girls.
Cháu lên phòng là nghỉ nhá, để các chú kiểm tra cái nhà thôi.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Tarleton? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules them out as a suspect.
You check if she was a regular.
Baron quen nhỉ?
I wonder why the picture was turned down.
Ảnh cưới mà up xuống thì chỉ có mày đang lục đục từ gia đình thôi chứ. Gì cũng chắc chắn là đang lục đục gia đình đó. Túi à?
I doubt it.
Cháu.
Seems irrelevant. Maybe if... No. Baron's bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive.
If you'd excuse me, ladies. So she went out without her handbag? She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind.
90, 55, 37 tuổi.
At least she was spared that particular indignity.
này này. Đó là bùn đất đúng không? Đi mưa về. Số 8.
You can see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene.
Đấy lại vợ giết chồng, chồng giết vợ thiệt.
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies.
Nothing significant.
Xem xem. Cái gì đấy? À vẫn là còn ướt.
Lars was out in the rain last night.
Áo khoác ướt. Ok. Cái nhạc là chứng tỏ là có vấn đề gì đấy. Dây thừng.
Looks like a match with the ligature marks.
Dây thừng buộc buồm.
That's the cop from the newspaper. Whoa! Easy!
Hết rồi.
Wow, that looks like a beauty.
For the record, Mr. Tarleton, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
Không thể nào nói thật được. Phải số cao hơn.
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that?
Siết cổ à? Siết cổ thì có cái này.
Your wife was strangled with triple braid rope. The bow line from your boat is a perfect match.
Look, I know this looks bad. I'm gonna have to come to terms with the fact that I let her go.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right, Bobby had a bunch of people over.
Tôi sẽ học cách chấp nhận trong thực tế rằng tôi đã để cô ấy đi. Sao? Câu này nghe nó cứ sao sao nhỉ?
We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Barron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Terrellson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
Chơi bài nữa.
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
Đang thắng bài cho nên là không muốn đi với vợ.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
Tắm với tôi một bài nhạc Bobby gần tàn. Tôi đánh hết tiền và lái xe về đây, trả tiền cho người dùng trẻ. Nếu mà đi ngủ thì làm gì có ở dưới bùn áo khoác ướt.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Charles.
Đánh bài, bỏ
We'll need to go downtown to identify your white spot.
Dễ thương.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life. We could break the husband's story right now. Call in, get some uniforms dispatched to check out his alibi.
Thích gái trẻ.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Chồng cũng tệ vãi.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross, then send some uniforms over?
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks for your help. Appreciate your time, sir.
Chắc đi tiếp rồi. Chờ thêm có thông tin về Barnabas.
Can you drive to this one? And where exactly are we going? You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
Ba. Hai anh tiếp quản căn nhà hộ em nhỉ?
Food wasn't great, but you're real nice.
Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrellson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
On foot, in a car, by bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time she has a drink is when things aren't going so good at home. I was worried about her.
Waitress, can I get another spoon? My eggs were running.
Put out an APB on the cab. 3591. Should be traceable.
This is a tasty burger.
Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, 2 creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other man?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt. Bitch.
Any idea where she was headed?
Nope. I didn't get that.
Tín không? Tín.
The husband said she wanted to go dancing.
Yeah, she always wants to dance when she's been drinking. She was trying to talk some guys into taking her to one of the dance halls.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates?
Yeah.
That's him.
LAPD, don't make me chase you, shitbird.
Mẹ lại chạy à.
Can't let the son of a bitch get away.
You want the 5-star?
Bates, we just want to talk.
Come on, you got a ride. Get in and drive.
No time to...
I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Come on, Phelps, you're letting this lust get away from you.
Nhanh chứ. Fail mẹ rồi. Ôi, chạy rõ nhanh luôn. Tưởng là đuổi bắt được ông nhõi lên xe nhanh vãi.
God damn it, get after him, Cole. I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
Từ từ.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine. He's showing you how it's done. Hit it! Clean this asshole off the road. I'm trying to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Let's end this fun. All right, you got me. I've had enough.
Give it up, LAPD! Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions.
I have a choice in this.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead, and your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
Cháu tin lắm. Mặt bắt đầu là mồm điêu.
Do you want my partner to sap you? Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault. Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
Cứ tán cho cái chùy vào mặt rồi. Đỡ lên lẹo.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an APB out on a yellow cab, number 3591. Ask dispatch to relay all sightings to car 11K.
No problem. I'll get on the radio.
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Beaudry Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Oh, is that so?
Could be our man. Thank you.
Sao nếu chỉ điều tra luôn về chắc điều tra luôn ông kia chính phủ người gia cư thấy là mơ hồ quá. Khi thì là mẹ.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Về thẩm vấn hai cái thằng kia xem. Lão cầm cái chày dọa táng trông buồn cười vậy.
That's the guy from the paper. Solved that big case.
Car 11K, we have a response on your APB regarding yellow cab number 3591. The vehicle has been identified at a gas station. Now heading west on 7th Street.
Garage on 7th Street. Let's hit it, Phelps. The cab driver might tie this whole thing together.
I hope you're right.
You see our taxi anywhere? It's against the rules to drive like this without a siren.
11K, yellow cab number 3591, sighted at the corner of Wilshire and Whitmer. Repeat, Wilshire and Whitmer, 11K.
Bắt luôn taxi vàng.
Where's that cab got to now?
11K, further on your APB on yellow cab number 3591. Vehicle identified at Reggie's Cafe, heading north on Whitmer. KGPL clear.
This officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive. Officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive, at 211 in progress and shots fired. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Đánh lộn rồi. Kệ nó đi.
Car 11K, your suspect vehicle, yellow cab, 3591, sighted at 6th and Valencia.
You see our taxi anywhere?
Ông kia còn câu nào khác không? Sorry nhé. Xa thế nhỉ? Tính đi bắt mà. Xa thế. Xe bên đội giao thông chạy nhanh hơn, xe này chạy ì ạch vãi liền.
Car 11K, yellow cab, 3591, was just seen leaving Dewey's Car Sales, driving north on Union Drive. KGPL.
The search continues. 3591, that's him there, Phelps. Hit the siren.
LAPD, we're investigating a murder.
What's that got to do with me?
The fare you picked up from Barron's bar last night. What was the woman wearing?
It's a green dress. Oh, don't tell me something's happened to her.
Tell me about her.
She was with this jailer, and he was all over her. She wasn't having any of it. Said she just wanted to dance. But he had that look in his eye.
Where did you drop them off?
It's at the Crystal Ballroom.
What time?
After midnight. 12:30? Something like that.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Well, that's gonna ruin my day.
You know the way. You can drive.
This officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive. Officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive, at 211 in progress and shots fired. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Do you have sauerkraut, mister?
Car 11K responding. Go ahead.
11K officers need help at the Bank of America, 7th and Olive, at 211 in progress and shots fired. Code 3.
Lỡ nhận này.
What's the situation?
Half a dozen shooters, sir. Cold-blooded sons of bitches. Real professionals.
What do you mean?
Witnesses say they bounced in, aced the guard, and went straight downstairs. Christ knows who they're working for, but whatever's in that vault, they want it bad.
Picked the wrong bank to rob, my friends.
We've got to clear out the bottom floor.
Come on, make a push to the building.
How long do you think you can hold out?
Không thấy gì luôn. Còn ai không? Hết chưa?
They've blocked the goddamn stairs. Detective, take the elevator.
All right, I'll wait here. Don't give them a chance to regroup.
Vãi, gặp đơn vụ
Wish
cướp
me
ngân
luck.
hàng. Mình anh solo à? Căng vậy.
Buddies upstairs are dead. That leaves you, pal.
Give it up, Tom! I know you're there!
Just you and me. You can live to tell the tale.
Your move, mister! Come on!
That's it. That's all of them.
Căng quá. Bình thường án mạng cho mình mang theo khẩu thôm sơn bên người được. Gặp địch thì cứ thế mà vã thôi.
Car 11K. Shots fired, suspects are down. We're code 4 here, but I need an ambulance at Bank of America. 7th and Olive. Notify coroner and detective headquarters.
Roger on your ambulance 11K. All units, code 4 on the 211 at Bank of America. Code 4.
You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Thời gian cũng đánh nhau.
That's soothing and gentle.
Anh đang xử lý vụ trọng án.
It's a luxury that
I've been in this job 20
He's in interview too.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
Hai chàng số 2. Đâu?
One little twist. She was 13 if she was a day. Yeah, I'm thinking of moving
Detectives
up to a 45.
Phelps and Galloway.
I want to put them down to one round.
We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble. That's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning. You went to Barron's Bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrelson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
Thằng kia khai hết rồi.
So you tried to make a woman who was incredibly drunk?
Look, I'm not proud of myself, but I never hurt her.
You took her dancing?
That's right. Caught a cab to the Crystal Ballroom.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrellson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
He's pointing the finger directly at you, Jessup.
I only had one night before I was back in the tub. He had all the time in the world to look for some action. I belted him. I'd do it again. She was better off with me.
Sure. You're a shining example of chivalry, Jessup. Where did you go after the Crystal Ballroom?
I think the wind had gone out of her sails by then. She caught a cab and I caught a bus back to the base.
We spoke to the cab driver. Tell us what really happened at the Crystal Ballroom.
I'd had enough. She was all upset about her husband bawling about her kids. She looked old. Left around closing, maybe 1:30. We got on a bus and she fell asleep on my shoulder.
Which bus?
An All-American, 249. I went past her place. She jumped off and I stayed on it downtown. After that, I caught another bus to San Pedro. The Indiana's down there. She's being scrapped.
And that was the last you saw of Teresa?
Yeah, that's right. We didn't say much. I think she was kind of embarrassed.
The cab driver said that you were getting pretty familiar with Teresa.
It's not how I'd put it.
So the last thing you wanted was her playing hard to get. Did that make you mad, sailor?
Yeah, it did. She knew what a guy's looking for. All broads do. Dancing comes second.
And what happened at the Crystal Ballroom?
Nothing. Not even a little hand relief. She had another couple of drinks. There was no fun left in her. Just poured her guts out to some bartender.
We're holding you till we can clear this with the driver.
Yeah, my CO said as much.
Can you put the guy in two in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you. Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the Beau has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks.
What now? Drive all the way to San Pedro and check his locker?
Let's see if the bus story checks out.
There's a depot at 1660 Beverly Boulevard.
Guy gave his wife a cab. I said all down.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Quay lại đây để sẽ phải quay lại đồn trung tâm đúng không? Phải là bắt được cảnh sát luôn. Chắc chắn sẽ là có một vụ kết tội. Phải là đồn cảnh sát trung tâm.
3 suspects in the can and 1 on the hook. And still no hard evidence on any of
Chỗ
them.
đây vẫn đang vòng. Giống cái đợt cửa hàng
11K, go ahead.
Patrolman reporting that Bobby Ross's card game is breaking up at midnight.
Midnight.
11K, roger that. Only have time to get downtown, Cole.
It's possible. Have them bring him in.
KGPL, we have Lars Terrellson picked up.
11K, roger.
Chồng cũng nói dối đúng không? Thì nó cũng sẽ có một quay lại để kết tội thôi. Xem nào.
And thank you, ma'am. You have a safe trip now. Where are you boys headed today?
LAPD. We're after the driver of All-American 249. Would have been around midnight onwards last night.
Just a minute. Frank Zeffirelli. He's your man.
Where can we find him?
Frank is out on the 7-4.
Can you tell us the route?
Hang on. I should have it mapped out here somewhere.
That's the guy. I heard he's an honest cop. Oxymoron for you.
We'll need to run the loop.
Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked?
We're not going to drive the
I
whole
swear,
thing, are we?
This town is going
Won't
straight
take
to
long.
hell.
We have a siren.
Rồi, chạy thôi anh ơi.
She wants a 5-star goddamn wedding.
Xe đâu?
All-American 7-4. Let's go get him. Whoa there. This could be a long trip, Cole.
Or it could be a short one.
And here's me without my hip flask and only a pain in the ass for company.
Way to kick off the drive in high spirits, Rusty. Comments like that put me in just the right mood for some legwork.
Hachi.
You know what your problem is? You don't like hard work. This kind of rigorous search is what police work is all about. Discipline.
Save it, Phelps. You're just as bored as I am.
Cái này làm lâu quá rồi chán mẹ. Lão lười làm cái việc này, chỉ muốn kết án cho nhanh, hồi hợt vãi. Cảnh sát này thì mày án oan ở đây. Cấp rồi.
Nope, still no sign of him.
Did you doze off, Rusty? I think you slept through my solving the case.
Yeah, very funny. Just give me a nudge if you see him, all right?
How about you nudge me?
I think that's a job for your wife.
Oh, Rusty.
Lái xe để vọt lên. Một cuộc tấn công nước sơn này. Thị trường chắc là đang từ lúc 3 chứ năm lúc 47 là gì phải tổng thống ở Nixon thôi. Vậy là Eisenhower. John F. Kennedy. Còn tàu điện chứ, cái xe điện chứ, không phải xe
How
buýt.
long is this bus route?
It actually covers an area around the size of Central Division.
The probability is we'll find it about halfway around.
Bad luck says we'll be chasing it all night.
Thời ngày xưa quản lý còn thời này chắc gọi điện phát để dừng là xong. Kia xe rác, xe buýt đâu.
This is starting to grate a little.
You know, whatever happened to the joys of rigorous search? Dogged police work, you know?
They went out the window about 2 blocks ago.
Hey, this could be a Cole Phelps I'll grow to love.
Don't count on it.
Đi mãi thấy nhỉ? Có đi đúng đường không vậy? Thế tôi có đang đi đúng đường không nhé? Sao lại đúng vậy loay hoay mãi ở đây? Không thấy cái xe buýt đâu à? Còi lên này.
No, you should have gone around the other way. We would have run into the bus by now if you'd gone the other way.
How was I to know that at the time?
A good detective depends on his gut, and yours has just been found wanting.
Well, your gut clearly wants for nothing, Rusty. Though from the look of it, its main request is beer.
Beer and convictions, Phelps. Beer and convictions.
Để đi ngược lại em. Xe buýt ở đâu? Này rất mất thời gian nhé. Đi từ nãy đến giờ mà không thấy cái xe buýt này. Cay thật đấy. Xe buýt đâu ta?
That's the bus we're looking for. Ease in behind her and get her to the side of the road. That's the bus we're looking for. Ease in behind her and get her to the side of the road.
Some kind of problem, buddy?
LAPD, we're investigating a murder. You had a sailor and a woman in a green dress on your bus late last night?
That's correct.
And the woman got off first, around 2 a.m.?
Yeah, that's right. And the sailor stayed on all the way to downtown.
Can you tell us where you let the woman off?
On California Street. To tell you the truth, she looked a little lost, like she got off on the wrong stop or something. I didn't like dropping her off near that hobo camp.
You've been a big help, Mr. Zeffirelli.
So Sailor Boy escaped by the seat of his bell-bottom trousers and left the broad alive.
Left her by the hobo camp.
Which means he's as good as killed her.
We can't eliminate any of them, but the disfigured man should be our starting point.
I'm gonna call for some backup as opposed to hate cops.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, I guess we ought.
Quá khổ với cái dòng xe buýt này. Chạy thấy mẹ luôn. Ui dồi. Đây này. Nhìn giống lắm.
LAPD, we'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far. I need you to stay copacetic. You need to hold out for your help.
How do we do that?
Like this.
Somebody keep you down, fellas. You want your
Disciples know what you did last night?
We need to fight for it.
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
Japanese.
Time split.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
Tờ báo đi. Xe của mất trộm morphine. Công sát nói là trên đó của chiến bom đạn.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack. Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir.
Bảo rách kéo xô nha.
Take a seat, Courtney. We need your help, Jack. I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them, that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest.
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate
only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. For God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that? We are better trained, Jack. I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
Được điều tra vì buôn bán ma túy trong đến cậy như thằng bạn năm xưa chiến đấu rách keo sổ. Rồi dính máu.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terreldson's chin. Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer.
Crystal Ballroom.
Not much help.
Would you the cop
What now?
medal for solving all those cases? Are you drunk, mister, or you just cracked?
Nope.
Để phỏng vấn không? Đau hết cả đầu ạ. Các bạn áp. Anh
You can
có
drive.
cái nhạc nhẽ
Where
đéo
exactly
gì.
are we going?
Về đồn trung tâm thôi chứ còn gì nữa.
The husband has an alibi, but no real motive other than neglect. Jessup's alibi checks out. Bates is a recidivist. He'll be pulling the same stick until we put him away for good. Ackerman has history, opportunity, hard evidence. What motive?
We have the evidence. We know she was here. All we need is a confession and we can charge the bum with murder.
Chứ động cơ là gì? Động cơ vẫn chưa rõ ràng lắm nhỉ. Đấy chỉ là kiểu thù ghét xã hội xong rồi kiểu phản xã hội ấy. Thù ghét xã hội xong rồi kiếm người yếu thế để giết.
Yeah, the bum took a swipe at me.
We're going this way.
No good John with me, detective.
I want to make homicide. You know you made
Đây à?
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Terrelson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
You hate women, Ackerman?
More than you could ever imagine.
How much did you hate Mrs. Terrelson?
I ache to put my seed in them. Afterwards, I have no use for them.
Gieo sống ạ. Mẹ. Tôi chỉ muốn gieo giống của bên ta bên trong chứ ta không cần.
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrelson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
You are clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Where were you around 2 a.m. last night?
At the camp.
You were up on the hill. You were seen during the day. We have a witness. We have evidence. Come clean with me, Ackerman, and I'll see what I can do for you.
I despise your pity. You have nothing that links me to this woman.
Nếu mà liên hệ thì có nha. Anh ơi, liên hệ thì có nha anh ơi.
We have you cold, Ackerman. Her purse and the ballroom ticket were in your lean-to. Tell us why you did it.
I kill because people need killing. It's what I was trained to do.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrelson.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society, I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Teresa Tarleton will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. And a grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.
Nằm té tét trên đường. Có lẽ sẽ thu được manh mối nếu sớm đến trại của người vô gia cư. Nhưng chút khó khăn trong việc tìm ra nhân chứng ở đó. Không có nhân chứng.
Right here by Miss Evelyn Knight.
Đến nghe nhạc à? Bảo anh này lại mê cái bà kia nhá. Còn vợ con ở nhà anh ơi. Ok, tập Hôm nay đến đây thôi nha mọi người. Cảm ơn mọi người đã dành thời gian theo dõi. Hẹn mọi người trong những tập tiếp theo của series L.A Noire. Bye bye.